Welcome, Internet. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't gotten the notification from Twitch yet.
You may have noticed our good friend Gorm has insulted a witch and has been turned into a red cup for the evening.
Yes. Yes.
More unfortunate things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, Gorm will now be played by the part of Red Cup.
I'm okay with this.
I need to make that a joke. We should make it a
I
T-shirt.
think you just
Especially now,
Whenever
I
someone is
think his
missing, just-
intelligence modifier is actually
we draw
gone
a
up.
face on a solo cup, and just if someone's ever missing, you just put it there.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I actually thought about like when I was missing having just a broom here with like a paper plate taped to it.
Well, that's like plank.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You ready? Is this live? You live?
We'd always say screw it and just go play Street Fighter at my house.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
I'm gonna keep
I'm
pushing
in.
this.
No.
I'm in.
See, I want to have a Street Fighter tournament with everybody, but Sean doesn't
Let me
want to
know.
do it.
Let me know. I'm in.
Yeah. See?
I suck
I mean,
at
I'm
fighting.
we go.
in for it.
Oh, I mean, I will be god awful, but make no mistake
We'll
about
make
it.
it double
but I'm in.
elimination. You'll have some chance.
Hello, denizens of the internet. Welcome to Tales of Jemmora, the Kraken's Wake, a D&D show, a D&D podcast, a D&D stream, a D&D extravaganza, in which we engage in tales of swashbuckling and sorcery, shenanigans and charlatans, and mutiny and betrayal.
Yeah.
No.
I am your host, Sean Hayes, and our cast for the night is starting from my left.
I'm Sean.
Who are you playing?
I am playing Twixen.
So what is
always
Twixen?
forgets.
Twixen is a warforged with a mysterious past
And he's a bard.
and a bard.
Yeah.
I play the Guchin.
These are important details.
Right. I'm a warforged bard who plays the Guchin
Yes.
There we go.
with a mysterious past.
Hi, everybody. I'm Courtney. I play May. Wood Elf Rogue.
Joshua York, I play Jacobin, Human Paladin. Can I get a hashtag Jacobin did nothing wrong in the chat? Thanks.
Nope. Nope.
Hashtag Jacobin supports Garrosh. Hashtag Jacobin supports Sylvanas. Hashtag Jacobin did nothing wrong.
Hashtag none of them did anything wrong.
Hashtag Jacobin opposes Sarfang.
I'm Joshua Cardi. I play Tyron Kai, and I'll be performing this evening in interpretive dance.
Oh, that'll be
I
fun.
hope that's true.
I really
But
hope
as
it's true.
what?
What are any of us playing as?
Well, we just went through the other three characters.
Hi, I'm a warforged bard.
Yes, I'm a black scale lizard folk druid.
We are down 2 players this evening, so they are just gonna sort of
They got voted off the island.
fade into
Yeah, we
into
threw
the
him
background.
off. We threw him off the boat.
So,
As practice.
Yeah.
with that,
It's true.
why don't we pick up where we left off? So, last session, or the last 3 episodes for our YouTube and YouTube viewers and podcast listeners, you ventured into the jungle to go meet with some orcish merchants, as Jacobin's interest in meeting orcs was piqued, and the rest of you wanted to get some supplies. Upon arrival, the orcs, gave you some information on their history and their culture a little bit. Jacobin, unimpressed with the wares that they had, and said, "This is basically a waste of time. We need to get going. We need to get back on the ship."
Also, not too down that they're down with
Nord,
the pig god.
your patron.
Yeah.
Your divine
Yeah.
patron.
I don't like that they like him.
Yeah. They then mentioned that they are being assaulted by these large reptilian creatures or large beasts, that they weren't sure what was hunting them, and that there was a sort of hunting sport going on to catch them and defeat them so that their tribe wouldn't be hunted by them anymore. It said it's open to all comers, so if you want to partake, you can, and you get, whatever you can take off of the creatures. So up to a party vote, the majority voted to go along, and the rest of the folks were sort of dragged along. Won't name names, but
Certain paladins.
certain paladins.
That
Upon finding said creatures, after tracking them through the jungles, you discovered that you have encountered these beasts before on the island of Ogara, where your adventure first started. That they took the shape of sort of theropod dinosaurs, but then had sort of vines and moss growing out of their backs to provide some element of camouflage. Trying to set up an ambush, again, a certain unnamed paladin opted that it was time to kind of teach a lesson in why we shouldn't be off running sort of dangerous missions that are superfluous to our goal at hand. But proceeded to then cast a paralyzing spell on a certain wood elf rogue who shall remain unnamed.
Rename?
Who shall remain unnamed.
Oh.
Causing her to get flung out in the open and then promptly eaten by a tyrannosaur. Or tyrannosaur-like creature. Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just 0 hit points, dead.
Yeah. Like
Thankfully,
dead.
you all had a gem that you picked up in the ruins beneath Ogara.
You all, as in Jacobin, had a
The party found
As
it.
an unnamed
You were holding on to
paladin.
it.
unnamed paladin had a gem.
And you were able to cast a revivify spell on her to restore her back to life. Jacobin then proceeded to head back to the ship on his own, got lost. The rest of you
Got found again.
retrieved these sort of amber stones from these creatures, while the rest of it sort of just melted away into sort of fey mushrooms and flowers and
With legs
other stuff,
that
and
walk
sort of
away.
just dissolved.
No, the mushrooms had legs and walked away.
Right, yeah.
And then, heading back to the orc village, met up with them. You sat in on sort of a spirit, not a quest per se, but a vision of Tyrankai's, where you,
Got a little happy.
I had fun.
yeah,
We got a wonderful view of the surroundings.
yeah. And you're not quite sure what sort of form that was, or what sort of creature that was. And it was a very unnerving vision. So, after that, you headed back to the ship, actually finding that you got back to the ship with supplies before Jacobin did. And informed the crew of what had transpired. And
Some
tensions
people
are
inform
high.
them very loudly.
The murder attempt. Actually, no. Successful
successful
murder.
It was
Yeah.
successful, yeah.
My eyes could roll any harder, they'd come out of my head.
And upon arriving, Jacobin going straight to his captain's quarters on the ship. And then discussion happening on deck. And your companion, Seraph,
Blew out my eardrums.
yes,
Yeah.
became
Both in
very,
game and out of game.
very upset and revealed that he is capable of sprouting sort of golden ephemeral wings.
Some of us already knew that.
And his eyes sort of lit up with sort of gold radiant energy when he did that. And that is where we will pick tonight's session back up. Yes. So, with that news, he has stormed off to his own room. The rest of the crew, Gorm is not on deck. He is presumably below deck somewhere.
Helping put away the supplies that we brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the crew is above deck, and it's quiet. There's not a whole lot of discussion going on. The tension in the air is so thick and palpable that
You could put it on toast.
you could.
I think I'm handing out rum, aren't I?
I was gonna say he was handing out.
You did. You handed out rum.
He handed out rum. I grabbed a bottle and went to my room.
It has not done much to settle the mood.
You're not
Of
using
note,
enough
in
rum.
particular, some of your crew members, namely the crew of the Jade Lotus that you picked up. So, your quartermaster, Sevelios Oakbreeze, your one of your gunners, nope, sorry, deckhand, Jemmora, the Flying Tiger. Yeah. Your engineer, Benny Fizzlebang.
Oh man, it's gonna be bad if we lose him.
One of your gunners, Valrus, are all, in particular, kind of weighing their options, as they have other venues that they can explore as far as revenue goes. And they would certainly have no trouble finding another ship to just, that you would come across to just say, hey, we're done, we're leaving. Your longtime friends, Wilhelm von Hammerschmidt, the blacksmith from the town of Deepwater, and Kramer Stonehoof, your first found friend in Deepwater,
love
who has been
Kramer.
with you on many adventures, is also wondering how this journey is going to go if something like this
We all are.
can easily sort of derail the morale of the crew. Your cook, Meloria Starthistle, is sort of just aghast at this whole thing and has gone back to the kitchen and locked the door to the kitchen.
She's not even staying in our room tonight.
No, and this is
yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, but
Has just retreated to the kitchen, where most of the time nobody else is really allowed in to prevent from any other people from messing around with the food. And that basically leaves Korev, your dragonborn master gunner, who's simply still just sitting in the big gun, just shaking his head derisively at this entire scenario. So, I guess that leaves Twixen and Tyrankai on deck.
Cool.
what about Edwin?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Your other longtime companion, Edwin.
Yeah.
Edwin is unhappy with what has transpired and what, based on both accounts of from what he has gathered of, and is simply in a sullen mood, sitting on sort of a pile of crates and ropes and supplies, just looking at his book, at his tome.
Ooh.
And just kind of poring through his tome, kind of a thing. So, yes, Twixen and Tyrankai.
Who are we? We're on dock right now, right?
Yeah, well, so there's no docks per se, but
Sure.
We're anchored.
you're
We're
essentially anchored in
Okay.
a lagoon.
Okay, so we don't need someone at the helm right now.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't lose yourself in steering the
Yep.
ship around.
Well, I could.
Tyrankai is still lost in thought and is wearing the reptilian equivalent of a big, dumb, goofy grin. Both still riding on cloud 9 from his vision, but also, in a twisted way, kind of enjoying watching all of this play out.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, to him, soft skins, flittering about with their emotions are so amusing. To a clan of lizard folk, it's just whoever's strongest is right, and there's no dissent.
In some cases.
Well,
In your case, in
Yeah.
your tribe, yes. Sevelios walks up to Twixen. What you think is going to happen from here on out, Master Twixen?
Master Twix. It is hard to say. I think only the passage of time will show us that.
I see.
I have faith that our captain will be able to work things out.
We'll see. Maybe so. All I know is that with the way things feel right now, is that it's going to make for a rather difficult voyage, even if we're halfway to our destination.
Emotions are high. Let them calm down.
A bit of advice for those of you. And he kind of raises his voice a little bit so that people hear. But you take note that most of the folks that are above deck right now are folks that have served on ships before. So it's a little bit like preaching to the choir, but for those that aren't. Problems with other members of the crew are a bit magnified when you're stuck together in a very small, confined space for an extended period of time. It can cause things to get out of control. Whereas if we were on land, you might not see each other for a few days. And that will allow things to calm down. It's a little difficult when the land, quote unquote, you occupy is, a 50-foot by 20-foot boat.
I point to the jungle behind us.
Well, it sounds like the captain doesn't want to spend any more time here. So,
Let me speak to him.
all right.
I knock on Jacobin's door.
Okay. You hear the thick weight of footsteps striding up to your door, and then
Come in.
I open, enter.
I'm just sitting on the edge of my bed. Still my leg plates, but from the waist up, just bare.
okay.
Kind of just leaning over, head down. I glance up briefly to see who it is. Look back down.
I imagine I stand there really awkwardly just staring at him for several minutes.
Yeah.
After-
it is very uncomfortable.
After a short moment,
Yeah.
just come in, close the door behind you. What is it?
I have noticed that humans sometimes enjoy conversation.
I'm glad of anybody who came to speak with me, it was you.
Is there anything you would like to engage in conversation about?
Not particularly, no.
I see.
What about you?
Processing.
I'll stand by.
Snarky comment loading. Please wait.
Why?
Why what?
With May.
To teach her a lesson. A real lesson.
Do you think it worked?
Honestly, yes. Admittedly, it got a little more out of hand than I had planned, but maybe for the better. Maybe she understands now what I was trying to say. Maybe not.
And what was that?
That we need to be focused on our actual mission and not being frivolous, chasing monsters in the jungle when the reward doesn't match the risk.
I see. Thank you. I go back down to my workshop.
Okay. The do you leave your lantern in the workshop, or do you keep it around with you?
I think I usually keep it in my chest cavity with
Okay.
Jean-Francois.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cramped in there.
Oh,
It's a bit cramped in there, but
I think he was complaining about that last time. Actually.
so you
but
hear
you can't
when
hear.
when you reach down to the
Yeah, yep.
workshop. Captain,
Yes.
it seems this situation's a bit out of hand.
What do you suggest?
We should find some way to resolve it.
What do you suggest?
I mean, not necessarily we, but there should be some sort of resolution to this situation.
Agreed.
You know, you and I had our squabbles back in the day, but never putting each other directly in harm's way like that.
Yes. What is the resolution?
I would say we'd have to get to the bottom of why Jacobin acts the way he does, but I can't exactly do much in my current form.
Right.
Now, I will say the progress that you've made on a chassis is very nice. I mean, it's missing sort of the crystalline structure that I'm used to, but you know, we can always outfit that later.
Yes. We can make modifications as we find them.
Yeah. At this point, we're going to cut to May. You hear a knock on your door.
At this moment in time, May is doing the two things you should never do at the same time. She is drinking and sharpening one of her daggers.
Oh boy.
Oh, they say drinking and taking pills.
No. Come in.
The door opens, and it is Svelios.
Captain.
Apothecary? I don't know what your appropriate title is.
May is just fine.
Yes. Yeah. May I come in?
If you must.
He sort of awkwardly comes in and sits down and shuts the door behind him.
Yeah.
Look, I think there needs to be some sort of. I seen the way you and Jacobin interact.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there needs to be some sort of eyeing and hearing the sound of shh
Yeah. Yeah.
of the dagger. Peaceful resolution to this, whatever that may be. Now, I've seen handiwork like yours before.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an idea of what you might be planning. I would ask you to just hold off, please.
Sibelius, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my life.
I ain't never been part of a mutiny, and I don't intend to be part of one now.
Now, there's a lot of things have happened in my life to get me to where I am. And I'm trying to be a better person. And I will always help out somebody who is willing to help me. Like, that's how we survive. That's how I've always been able to survive. But after Jacobin got me killed, he's dead to me. 100%. He's not worth the effort that I could spend in trying to kill him. Because he's not worth it. He's not worth any of my time. I thought that he had changed, or at least started to turn over a new leaf when he communed with his god or brother or whatever, combination of all of both of those. But it's become extremely crystal clear to me that he obviously only cares about his goals and his life, and he doesn't care about anybody else. And I will stay on this ship and stay quiet and not cause any mutiny. But when we land, do not think that I will be staying anywhere near him unless he does something to prove to me that he's worth me caring about. Because trust me, I'd love to throw him overboard and do what he did to me and say swim when he can't. But that's... I know we're cramped here. And I know that that is not an outcome that would actually give me any peace. So, yeah. And he wouldn't focus on, the fact that we were able to get the rest of the food and supplies that we needed by being able to fight these creatures and bringing it back and trading with, the tribe. And it's just, he's just too focused on himself, and I don't want to be in that reflection at all.
He seems to have a singular focus,
Yeah.
which in some cases it's good, but
In a lot of
one
cases.
thing you learn on the high seas is opportunity may strike whenever you least expect it, and it's important to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. I mean, we had an opportunity to be able to trade and get what we needed and, have some fun at it too.
Especially if there be, the Kraken out and loose.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Sorry.
It's kind of a problem.
And I completely agree with that. And I
So-
completely, I'll do what is necessary to keep everyone on this ship safe and as healthy as I can. But he is nothing to me. He is dead to me.
All right.
Yeah.
As he gets up, he kind of does, like, he turns to look at you and then, like, does a bit of a double take and looks like a little taken aback, and then kind of just shakes his head as if, like, he'd seen, like, a ghost or something and just, like, shook it out and then, no, eyes must be playing tricks on me. And then leaves. Shuts the door behind him.
Just drinking and sharpening.
Jacobin,
Mm-hmm.
you have another knock on your door.
It's going to be a
Keep the queue moving. Come on in.
It is Edwin. Jacobin,
What's up?
would you like to talk?
Not particularly, but you came in, so why not?
And you hear in your head, thank you.
No need.
As you wish. He comes in and sits down with his big tome on his lap.
Any good stories in there?
Oh, no.
I didn't think so.
You know, this is a spell book.
I know, just breaking the ice a little bit.
Death is a funny thing, yeah.
Hmm.
Something that seems to follow us wherever we go.
Unfortunately, that's true.
I can see what you are trying to prove, but I think your lesson went beyond what you are normally saying in jest, and I think it's important that we not cause needless death.
I wouldn't disagree. But, that being said, we had no business being out there in the first place.
Jacob, we had no business being in those ruins either.
You're not wrong.
Just
Well,
there
not
are,
entirely, actually.
There are
I
forces.
had a reason to be there.
There are, as
Technically, so did I, but I'm not there.
I do not know if I needed to
think
be in
about it.
there or not, but there are forces more powerful and ancient than death itself at play in the world.
Yeah, I'm not quite a fan of these powers that be. Considering I seem to be just a simple tool of one of them.
At least yours seem friendly enough.
Debatable, but maybe.
And he seems to just kind of drift off for a moment with a sort of sad look on his face, haunted look on his face. And after a moment says, just, even though we had the means to bring her back, it does no one any good to treat life so carelessly. When there are so many who
Kraken up that kill
did not have the option. I'm sorry. To have interrupted.
You're not interrupting
you,
anything.
Captain. I must get going and take a look at some of the charts.
Yeah.
He kind of quickly gets up and leaves.
Before he goes, just... I'm sorry you, for whatever reason you got dragged into this, whether it be of your own volition or not, but
There are things you do not know of this conflict. Things that would make you go mad if you knew. And he turns and leaves.
not that far off, friend.
When he leaves, kind of leaves the door open for a little bit, and you overhear from the crew outside, kind of overhear them talking about Seraph's outburst and the bright golden wings that came out of his back and everything. And that description jogs a memory of people from your past, long ago, that you've pretty much forgotten until now, because of a few striking moments where you saw them coming into the Rose Gardens for parties and events of that nature, of one particular family of nobles in Twillin. That upon procession, as a big grand display, they would display these bright, shimmering golden wings. And that was the only time you've ever seen anyone, it through your subsequent travels through Twill, have that. You knew from that family's description that they were Aasimar. And you've met other Aasimar in your travels, through Twill. I wouldn't say they're common, but you meet them often enough, as if they're sort of drawn to that place because of its darkness. None of them had these wings, or were able to produce these wings. But the name of the family escapes you. You just remember that it was one of the prominent noble families in Twillin.
I get up, I go to the door. Just take a quick glance out onto the deck and see what's going on.
At this point, it's Jemmora and the rest of the crew, without Sevelios, are sort of just standing around in a circle, kind of talking amongst each other. Korev is still just sitting up in the gunner spot. At this point, Wilhelm and Kramer have gone below deck, it seems. Edwin's nowhere to be found. And I would guess Tyrant Kai's still up there, kind of just sitting with a unusual toothy grin.
Looking out over the edge of the boat, over the ocean, just in thought.
I'll actually stroll over to Terenkai.
What's your passive insight? Actually, never mind.
Passive.
I have that. Passive insight.
Perception or insight?
No,
Insight,
passive
12.
insight.
Okay. it's you can feel. So I mean, when you come out onto the deck, you walk over to Tyrant Kai. You can sense that there are glances over in your direction and people taking note. And you can get a sense of the tension kind of in the air. That's all.
I will stroll up and I lean back against the rails, so I'm actually overlooking the deck.
So were they hiding any good stuff on us when you got back to those orcs? Was it worth it?
You have no idea.
Oh. You want to give me a hint then? What, did they actually have some metal or like real weapons or something that they weren't showing us?
Not all wealth is metal.
That's where you lose them.
Maybe.
Tarankai turns to face you slightly. I have found a new sense of purpose.
That's good. Is it gonna take you on a different path, or are you gonna stick around with us?
I told you before we left I would follow you. Trouble follows you like birds to dead flesh, providing ample opportunity for battle and for me to grow stronger.
It's like I've got a dead dragon with me today. I was like using your analogy with the flesh and the birds. It means I got like a lot of it.
You softskins will perplex me forever. Your actions today were very strange. It is a poor use for soldiers to kill them.
I don't know that I'd consider May much of a soldier.
And
wouldn't
yet
either.
she has lived this long.
Well, would it surprise you if I said that wasn't her first go around with that?
Yes.
You joined after.
Well,
You seem inefficient at this. What I kill stays dead.
imagine how much trouble would fall me if we didn't bring her back. I go, just look at everybody now.
I do not understand why everyone seems so averse to you now. She was returned unharmed.
Exactly. Everything's just like it was before we even went on the stupid island, whatever. Island, land, whatever.
I must
It's just like we never even went.
I must ask. Your action perplexes me. Before we left, you spoke of loss.
Yeah.
You certainly smell of it.
It's a bit of a burn. You know what a burn is? Not like a literal burn.
Tyrant guy looks completely flummoxed by this.
It's something we can learn another day. But continue. Sorry to interrupt.
I would think you would want your soldiers stronger. Why would you oppose them seeking out battle? What you are attempting to do will require great strength, and your enemies are many without making more.
I've got something in my mind that needs to get done, and that's what's going to get done. Other distractions I'd rather not waste time with.
Are you already the match for that which you seek to kill?
Nope, but I was pointed in a direction, and that's the direction we're going.
This was in that direction as well.
Not quite.
For my part, I have grown stronger and will be better suited to aid you in your task. Not every distraction is going to be wasteful.
thought to consider.
Let us hope you do.
At this point, you see Sevelios come up from below decks. Ah, Jacobin. We may need to have a resolution to this whole thing that's happening, because
What thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Trying to bring some brevity to the situation there, brother.
it's hard to tell with you sometimes.
Yeah.
I have seen other people with May's skills before.
Had another one lined up, but I'll hold it.
Things don't go well when people piss them off.
I'm unconcerned with anything may or may not try to do to me.
See, here's the thing. Is I spoke with her. You're dead to her.
Well, that makes this easy.
Which means, likely, she won't have your back.
Well, she's free to get off at the next port.
She has ties to the rest of the crew. But I don't know. This has all gone to shit.
One day,
That's all it takes.
how weak-minded are all of you? I say pretty loudly. What
Jacob.
kind of resolve is this?
Jacobin, have you ever captained a ship before?
First time.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing
So
all
let
right.
me tell you something. All it takes is one day for everything to go to shit.
Yeah, my comment stands.
All it took was one day for my ship to be destroyed, and the rest of us to find ourselves locked up, waiting to be sacrificed for some bizarre Kraken being.
And yet you're all still together.
Aye.
And yet you have a ship to be on. And yet you have it pretty good here.
I do believe
Let me
she
be
never
clear,
tried
Jacobin.
to stab anyone in the back.
We're not here for the money.
It's fine.
We're here because we believed in you lot. Now, all I'm saying is you've said that you have a clear purpose. Just make sure that you don't lose sight of everything else. And to be quite honest, if captaining a vessel is taking you away from that purpose, just say so.
No.
Because you stink at it.
Yeah.
And he turns and kicks a bucket.
I think that's just kind of subjective on his part. I mean, he got his ship sunk.
I'm glad I blew that.
It was eaten.
Last time something tried to eat our ship, we drove it off.
Oh my god.
You did so with our aid.
Correct. I'm not trying to take the piss out of you. I'm just being honest. And if you've really got a problem, well, you do what you got to do.
I bust out a crazy sea shanty.
A crazy
you've
sea
come up from
shanty.
your workshop?
Yes.
Okay.
Something
you witnessed
something
this whole
very
conversation.
lively, like a nice jig.
It feels, it seems to fall flat.
Yep. I
It
keep going
seems-
anyway.
It seems inappropriate.
It's like circus
Jacobin is
music
smiling,
at
Which
a
is which is
funeral.
your MO? Is
Yep.
inappropriate music for the situation.
Yep.
It's like circus music at a funeral.
Yes. Or when you're supposed to play something lively and you play something in minor keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I lost 40 men that day, Jacobin. 40.
I'm sorry you did.
Oh, the ocean waves may roll, and the stormy winds may blow. But we poor
Take some time to
sailors go
think on
skipping
it.
to the top, while the
At least
landlubbers
take
lie
it to
down
12
below,
of
below,
us.
below.
And once we
While
get
the
there,
landlubbers
you make
lie
your
down
choice.
below.
Until then, I'm going to need your help to keep this ship and this crew under control. And I'm going to use my inspiration to make an NPC do what I want them to do for me.
Sure.
Basically, I would like him to make sure all NPCs on the ship, like, don't do anything crazy until we get to 12.
Sure.
And then if they can do whatever they want.
He will do whatever is in his power to make that happen.
Yeah.
I think he was going to do that anyway. But
Well, I just wanted to make
yep.
Which,
Because
when you,
I didn't make him too happy just now.
Yeah.
when you say that, he kind of just narrows his eyes at you, and Jemmora starts to step forward. And it's a little difficult to tell. Jemmora kind of has a bit of a stone-faced demeanor. But he begins to step forward, and Sveller's kind of just,
Remember, I've done nothing but help everybody on this ship up to this point.
Sveller's just says, everyone back to your posts.
Then up spoke the
We might as well be
captain
shoving
of
off
our
for that
gallant ship.
shithole anyway. Korev unceremoniously spits off the side of the deck and rubs his hands together and gets ready.
We're still waiting for the ship to repair, aren't we?
Yeah. Yep. So, he basically goes below deck with pretty much the rest of the crew, since most of them are required to make the repairs necessary. Then you hear, coming from Varus's pack as they're going down, well, you'll never go to me around, you blind buffoon!
Yes! Yeah.
I honestly forgot about him.
How?
He's kept his
You
mouth shut.
oily Ophidian!
It's a good one. I wish I was there.
I'm going to stay up on deck.
You hear,
I am almost, Jacob is almost reveling in how much people are
Pissed off.
not so hyped on him right now.
as people are filing down, you catch Edwin out of the corner of your eye, and he just looks at you. And you hear in the back of your head, that was not strategic, Jacobin.
When have I ever been strategic?
There we go.
Literally
Do you
just thinking
say
that.
that, or do you think that?
I say it.
Okay. He just shakes his head and just goes below deck. So,
Quite a mess I've got myself into, Taran Kai. And you're here with me.
See how far you have fallen so quickly.
I don't think I ever got too high to begin with.
I know not who or what you have lost. You have never deigned to tell me, but your actions today would bring them shame.
No doubt.
Wow.
No doubt you're right about that.
May,
Yes.
you hear another knock on your door.
Come in.
It's Sevelios again.
The knife is down by now. I'm just drinking.
May, we need all hands to begin repairs.
Okay, I'll do what I can.
The captain wants to get to Twillin as soon as possible,
Yeah, I'd
and
like
I
that
ain't
too.
going against his orders.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
Because we know what happened the last time someone did that.
I mean,
There were no orders.
and I'm like at least halfway down the bottle at this point. I'm like, I'll help in any way I can.
Just picture trying to like hammer something, going back, and just the way the hammer just dragging.
Yeah, kind of.
Weight of the hammer just pulls you back down.
There's just so much blank slate right now. She's still May is still in kind of a state of shock over what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and is just like,
And she's
washed-
broken into the good ROM, so.
Well, May didn't break into it. Twixen did.
He leaves the door open,
Yeah.
and you see him go, and he knocks on the kitchen door.
Mm-hmm.
Meloria answers. Meloria, we need as many hands as possible making repairs. Until repairs are finished, it's hardtack and water for everybody. We can't afford any crew to be wasting time with other ventures. So, she shrugs, nods,
Okay. I'll slowly get
and
up.
and gets to work. So yeah, basically everybody except for the four of you, if you wish, and Korav are below decks working on repairs.
I'll go below decks.
Okay.
Sevelios kind of insists that Tyron Kai helps, but there's a palpable aura of malice and discontent of being forced into manual labor. But he will help with repairs.
In fact, Jacobin goes to help with repairs.
May goes down to try and help, sees him, goes right back up to her room.
Says,
And just like, I have not like taken
Yep.
the bottle out of my hand. It's just,
so, as you go back up,
mm-hmm.
Svelios goes up with you. Takes, May. Holds his hand out to you. Puts the cork back in.
The cork that I bit off and threw across the
He goes,
room.
puts it back in the kitchen. I will handle the situation. We need everybody on repairs.
Do what I can. I'm just silent.
And as the two of you walk down, Captain, it might be best if we have you taking a survey above deck. Just keeping an eye out for anything that might come up on us.
It's important for me to be here doing this. Put our best set of eyes up there. It certainly ain't mine.
Well,
Yep. You have good eyes.
May, you're with me.
Up, down, God, let's pick a place and go.
She's
And-
gonna yark on the deck.
And the two of them go above deck.
Yeah.
So, it's now it's the two of you and Korev,
Okay.
and the rest of you are below deck.
I'm doing my throat singing, the very jaunty sea shanty, but like
Jaunty.
with my
first, I
throat
mean.
singing. Yeah. So, while I'm working, putting the boards. And, yeah.
Tankai,
Yes.
what are you up to now that Twixit has started doing his throat singing, and Jacobin has joined you all below decks to make repairs.
He's trying to ignore the throat singing because it is both painful and offensive to his ears. But he's trying to stomach the indignity of being forced into manual labor, especially because he still has much he wants to think on, and he wants to get back below deck to his little hole.
So,
But
I will point out that whenever like you would raise a stink, Svelius would say, "Captain's orders, now get to work." No one's exempt.
well, that would only be an issue once.
Okay,
I don't remember saying these things.
well, that's how it's being interpreted.
It's fine.
So,
He is doing what you asked him to do.
Sure.
so Tyron Kai is neither small nor weak, so he's actually well suited to this type of grunt work.
Mhm.
But
Oh yeah.
he is massively incensed on it. He knows better than to say anything, especially with how tense everything is. But he's silently fuming at being reduced to, unskilled manual labor.
Nobody's happy right
No one is enjoying.
Twix in this.
My day started off so good. It's just done
I mean,
under a complete
I'm okay with
180.
the labor part. I still don't really love the
killing?
the tension.
As a
yes, the
would-
killing.
Would you even have any concept of the tension?
I would have a concept of it. I wouldn't necessarily understand the why.
Kramer, Kramer notices that you're chafing at the manual labor part. Tyron Kai, there is nothing wrong with doing some manual repairs on things. It's good to help practice your skills every once in a while, as he's like putting planks up and kind of nailing them in.
Oddly, that helps. Tyron Kai stops and seems to be thinking on that for a moment, and while still noticeably displeased with the whole thing, is not as angry as he was with the whole situation.
What was the rate? Everybody's pay rate?
More notes.
I don't know that
everybody's
I-
pay rate?
I know I have
believe
how
so.
much.
I think for it was like 2 gold a day,
Okay. Oh,
and then for like the higher skill
That's fine.
people, it was 3 gold a day.
perfect. As we're working, my guess, if this many people are trying to fix repair, it's a cluster. There's just too many people, too many bodies.
There was a lot of damage.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, it's
you're not all on one deck, because there's only 15 of you,
Right.
and so there's only 12 people doing repairs,
Yeah.
and you're split between like 2 decks, and the full length of the decks.
okay.
Also, I probably have the most skilled people actually doing the
Yeah.
nailing and whatnot, and everyone else is just schlepping back and forth.
Contrary to what Sevelios is saying, I'm letting people take as many breaks as they need. With the repairs will get done at the rate they need to get repaired and to have them done correctly and well. We're not eating hardtack and water. That's just stupid.
We're having soft tack.
No, we're eating normally.
We have supplies. We could just eat raw stuff like vegetables and dried meat and whatnot.
You mean the stuff that we just got?
And whatever, whenever we finish, I don't know what time do we stop.
I mean, with everybody working
Is
on
it just when I
everything,
say stop?
Pretty much. Whenever you decide that we're ready.
Or how
to go,
long
yeah.
is it going to take us at this pace to repair?
you can get all of the repairs done by midnight.
Yeah, we're not working till midnight. We'll work until dinner time.
Okay.
When we finish, and before everybody goes to do whatever they do before dinner, let everybody know, due to the emotional stress that they've been subjected to, I'm tripling their pay when we get to 12 and adding a 100 gold bonus for everybody upon completion, getting to 12. I let them know if I understand if they harbor any ill feelings towards me in particular or whatever, but mostly me in particular, and that if they want to off the crew, then that'll be their point to do it. But they'll still be paid triple with a 100 gold bonus. And I apologize for, again, any emotional and mental stress they're having to be put through at this point. And I head back to my cabin.
I don't think they're the one you're supposed to be apologizing.
So-
Wink, wink, nudge,
So yeah, so
nudge.
basically, this was made for. So during this whole process, May, Svelios, and Korev remained above deck.
Yep. I'm just, yeah, this is all I want to do for the
Yep.
day.
So. Can I tell you something, May?
Yes.
I don't look the part.
Of?
Of a wealthy man.
Yeah.
But I didn't sign up for the maritime life, the privateering, for glory and riches and wealth. Signed up for it to help people,
Yeah.
to hunt down people who hurt other people.
Your very noble aspirations. I know that I'm thankful that you helped us up in Deepwater. How you beat.
I'm certainly thankful that your crew rescued us deep within those ruins.
Yeah, I kind of pissed myself a little when I saw you all strung up like that.
Ha, you don't even know the half of it. It was, they were gonna infuse your friend Edwin's body with some sort of creature.
Oh god, that's just what Edwin needs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to stop that from happening. I mean, I realize a lot's kind of come out of that, but
No, this is not.
we've come pretty far.
No, the battery is dying on this.
Oh no.
So. Oh no. Well. Once we reach Twill, if and you find yourself questioning the values of what you're doing, and who you're traveling with, you can always find a spot in my crew. You won't have any need for wealth. We own a mine.
Okay, so imagine like cartoon character, like dollar signs.
We own a mine in Drummond.
Oh,
We have a castle.
okay.
Yeah, Jemmora's crown ain't for show.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I greatly
So
appreciate the offer.
we don't have to take contracts for money. We can help people as we please without having to worry about, whether or not we're going to get paid for the next job.
I greatly appreciate that offer.
I know you seem to be the one that understands money the most, so
Yeah.
out of the group.
Yeah. She's just salivating at this point.
But
I do have something that I have to investigate when we get to 12. But after that, I will definitely keep you on my radar. So I like being around people who help others, because that's
just,
how we get back.
I will need your help in keeping things under control until we get to 12.
For you, I will do what I can.
You hear Korev at the front, and he spits again over the side. This is why Dravos will eventually fall to the Cardarel Empire. Y'all fight amongst yourselves. You lack discipline.
I mean, he's not wrong. But
It's the truth. Now, I may not agree with what they did, but the price I paid for that was me being here instead of over there, overseas.
yeah. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to be fighting for my life anymore.
None of us do. None of us do. Then you see he does that weird double take. Again. Like, kind of, he looks at you and then kind of like... May,
Yeah?
I don't think you ever really mentioned it. Where are you from? Just out of curiosity.
Are we going there right now? Can we pick something on top of that?
Just, where are you from?
I mean,
And as you start to answer that question,
oh, beautiful.
is
'Cause I had no idea.
you see in the kind of reflection of some of Sevelios's buckles, right? Like some of the belt buckles that have big square kind of brass
Yep.
clasp on them. That, you know, he keeps them pretty well polished. You can see your reflection in it. You see there is almost like a shadow behind you
The shadow.
of yourself.
Like, are we talking like Peter Pan shadow
Very
style?
briefly, like a dark kind of ghostly reflection of you that's like 3 inches out of sync.
Oh.
That the moment you notice it, it kind of shifts for a little bit and then dissipates really quick. And that is where we'll take a break.